Hello everyone, welcome to this course on image processing and computer vision. So in this tutorial we are going to have a look on what is image blending. It's actually operation in image processing to add any two images. In simple words, it simply means adding any two images, so that operation is called as image blending. So as we already know that image is nothing but it's actually an array. So it's a bunch of numpy arrays. So if this is my image 1 and if this is my image 2, so this simply is an array, right? Since image is nothing but it's an n-dimensional array. So once I add this, the resulting operation would be the addition of pixels of image 1 and that of image 2. So it adds the pixel values of image 1 and image 2, and the resulting operation is called the blended image. So that operation is called as image blending. So the first thing that we need to remember is that while doing image blending, we need two images for obvious reasons. And then we actually need to resize the image into fixed size. I mean that you need to have both the images, image 1 and image 2, of equal size. So you need to resize them into a fixed dimension. So in OpenCV, you basically have two functions for adding the two images. So you basically have two functions, which is cv2.add, and then you have cv2.addWeight. Add weight. So what does add do is that it simply adds the two images based on their saturation level, and then add weight actually assigns weight to an image and then it adds your two images. For example, by add weight I mean that if you attach a weight of 70% of image 1 and then 30% on image 2, so your blended image will contain the characteristic of 70% of image 1 and just 30% of the image 2. Means that this will look dominant on your output image. So we are going to have a practical look onto it on our IDE itself. So the first thing is that you need to resize your image, and then you just can simply use these both functions to actually do the image blending operation. So let's directly go on our IDE and see what's the code. So actually you see that we have two important functions, which is cv2.add and cv2.addWeight for blending the two images, right? So blending means addition of two images. So it's actually, you see the function is add weighted. So you can see just add weighted. So that is what the functions are. And so blending simply means that you add your two images, and if you want to blend your two images, then both of the images should have the same size, as we already know that. So now let's import our cv2 library, which is the OpenCV library, and we have imported our numpy as np. Since it's the numpy addition, since image is numpy array, so for numpy addition we have imported the numpy library as well. Now what we do is that we read two different images of same channel. Now the first thing you need to know is that your channel should be equal. Means that you need to add any two color values, two color images. Since color images have a channel of 3, so you are adding images of equal channel. But then you cannot add image which is of color image with black and white pixels. I mean to say that you cannot add a grayscale image and a color image, since both of them have unequal channel value. Now let's go and have our first image. So I already have my images here. So you just go and extract the path of your image in a string, and let's go and give the double quote there, and go and just write the name of the image. So my first image is of deer, and my second image is of giraffe. So let me just go and copy that, giraffe.jpg. So let me cross check my spelling, JRAFFE. okay, so this one is correct. Now what I do is that I am gonna resize both of them into equal size. So what I've done is that for my image 1 I have used the resize function to resize it into 500 comma 500. Means that 500 is my width and 500 is my height. So I have resized them onto equal size. Now once I do that, I again go to image 2 and read that, and then I again resize my image 2 into a fixed width and height of 500 comma 500. Now since both of my images have equal size, now it's good to go for performing the blending. So this first simple thing is that you can just go and add the numpy addition. Means that it will go and just add the pixel values of both of it. I mean the array of it, right? The elements of the array. But that array is called as what? Pixels, right? So it simply adds the pixels. So let's go and have a look onto our result. So result is simply image2 plus image1. Now one thing you should be noting that image1 plus image2 or image2 plus image1, both of them are same thing. You won't find any difference in the output itself. So let's go and view the result. Actually what happens if you obtain the result of image2 plus image1 and how does it look like. So for that I'm just going to use my imshow function, which is stored in the Windows name as result, and I'm passing the result variable which is storing my image2 plus image1. Before that, let's go and just view our original images as well. So I'm gonna imshow that. So my first image, right, first image, or and then pass image1, and let's do cv2.imshow my second image. So this is what I have done. I've just gone and added, I mean displayed my image1 and image2 so that it would be easier for us to compare the output. So now let's just go and hit the run button and let's see what sort of image are you getting. So yeah, this one is basically a first image and this one is the second image. Now the moment I added the pixel values of each of it, you see an image like this one, right? So you can notice both the deer and giraffe in the picture here. So you can notice that this is a kind of output you get when you just simply add two images. Now this has done what? This has actually added the pixel values of both the images, image1 and image2, and this is what you call the output, right? So your adding function, just adding the two images, just simply adds your pixel values. Now let's go and have a look at what these functions are going to do, cv2.add and cv2.addWeight. So for that you have cv2.add, right? So you just need to use cv2.add and then just image1 and image2. Now it's the result will be same if you pass image2 and image1 as well. So let me just comment this out, or let it be. So cv2.add image1 and image2, it means that it will add based on the saturation, right? Saturation, it will be adding your value to value based on the saturation of the pixels, means the intensity of both of it. Now I go and I view my result 1, which is stored in this, which is storing the value of cv2.add, adding of intensities of image1 and image2, and let's have a look on how does it look now. So yeah, you can see that this one was image1, this one is image2, and this one was when we added both the images just based on the pixel values, but then we have used this function which is cv2.add, which actually adds based on the saturation point. So this is what the output you are getting. So you can see you get an output like this. So what does this do is that it has basically added both the pixels based on their intensities or saturation. Now we have another function which is cv2.addWeight. So as I already told you that add weight means assigning certain weight to our image. So what I have done is that I have gone and I have just used this function which is cv2.addWeighted, right? I have passed the image1 and I have passed 0.7 here, means that 70% of image1 and 0.3, which means 70% of image2, and this one is 0 is the gamma value. So gamma value is recommended to be 0, or you can also put it like 1, 2 and 3, but it's recommended that your gamma value should be passed as 0. So one thing you might be noticed that your sum of both the weight should be equal to 1. It means the maximum should be 1. So in my case 0.7 plus 0.3 is actually 1. So it means that your first image will be dominant as compared to the second one. So now let's go and have a look on to our add weight output. So we notice a multiple of it, right? So this one is the first image, this one is the second image, this is cv2.add, this is cv2, I mean this is simply adding the two images based on the pixel values. Now what I have done is that I have actually added both of it using this pixel value. So you can notice that my first image is dominant and the second image you can see a slight view of it. Since I've already passed 30% of, I've assigned 30% of weight, I mean 0.3 of it and then 0.7 of it, right? So you can basically notice that the intensity of my first image is more as compared to that of second. Now let's just try and look, reverse the order and then just view our output. So if I just assign 0.3 here and 0.7 here, then you might notice that your giraffe is dominant in the picture. So yeah, you can see that in the result too, the giraffe is more dominant than that of your deer, right? So this is what add weight function will do. It simply adds, adds the weight, right? It simply assigns the weight to your image, and that is how you get the blended output, and that is how it adds the image. So that was all about image blending. I hope you have understood this. Thank you for watching.